Presentation, thank you. Hey, I just wanted to let everybody know that at AutoZone, they are selling 75-watt incandescent bulbs, 2 of them for under $3. So this might be happening at other hardware stores. Really? I just bought 2. AutoZone, but I'm guessing
AutoZone?
Auto, A-U-T-O zone, but I'm guessing a lot of car places, and, I don't know if McGuckins has them, but, it's
No.
because guys work in their workshops, I don't know, anyway, two of those for under $3. And then my question for you is about LED lights, because I've heard, even though our eyes can't see it, that they do flicker.
Oh,
And
flicker.
But we can't see it, but it is doing some damage to the brain, and some people feel LEDs can actually contribute to getting cataracts.
Yes, that's why you should use incandescents, they don't flicker.
So the mixed bulbs that you guys were talking about have LED in them, and I'm questioning if people should get those mixed bulbs that are half incandescent, half LED.
Yeah, there are some companies that are specializing in low flicker lights, so there are people who are measuring it and looking at it. But most, a lot of LED lights do flicker.
So my question has to do with people, advice to people, and there are a lot of them who are sort of natural night people, Does every night person have to convert themselves, or do they stay with their natural rhythms, or what do you think about that?
Hi Lily, I'm glad
Hi.
you're here.
Thank you.
Well, I used to be someone who considered themselves a natural night person. I stayed up till 1:30 every night, years and years and years and years. Then I started studying Jack Kruse, and it's like, no, you gotta go to sleep at 9. I'm like, oh, I don't want to, it's too hard, it's not natural for me. But I forced myself to do it. Only took about 2 weeks. Boom, I had changed my whole rhythm and I felt way better. So I would urge people to give it a try, because it may be more just what you're used to. And that, so I would go into my bedroom at 10 o'clock, I'd turn off the light, I'd lie there in the dark, wide awake, thoughts racing, and it's like, and then after about 45 minutes, I fell asleep. And then I did that for a couple weeks, and then pretty soon I could go in and I'd fall asleep in 10 minutes instead of 45 minutes. So the body, it's used to certain rhythms, but it'll change if you just kind of give it a push. So that's my suggestion.
There's also a history of biphasic sleep, it's called, where people sleep in 2 segments. And it's very well known and it's ancient. So it's possible to be a biphasic sleeper and still get some.
And I still think I have my most productive work period from like 5 to 8, and right now in the summer, that's kind of winding down the day. And that does seem to be a little bit of a tendency for me, but staying up till 1:30 really wasn't it. But so I think there may be some natural physical tendencies to favor one time of the day or the other. So I just say for everyone, just experiment with it.
Well, I have experimented with it, and I've been a natural night person all my life, and I cannot say that I'll ever be somebody that gets up raring to go in the morning. Sorry. Choose the little one. Okay. And so I've been getting up really early, going up to Flagstaff, and seeing the sunrise, which is so beautiful every morning because it's pink and I can look right at it. And I've had some problems with my eyes, and I've found that the natural, morning light just at that moment is very beneficial. And so I have pretty much converted myself in the way that you have also. And I have to say, I just don't think I'm ever gonna really be a morning person. Cause then I need a nap in the afternoon, and so that maybe is part of the biphasic. But anyway, I think it's possible. Would you recommend that every night person try that?
I think everyone should experiment with whatever appeals to them. But, push it a little bit and just, don't just like have one negative experience and say, oh, this is not for me. Push a little bit, and then play around with it.
So my question was almost identical to hers. So I was just saying thank you to her. Is there anything else you want to offer about how sleep cycles affect us in relation to sunlight exposure?
Well, in theory, getting bright light in the morning will give you more melatonin production to sleep at night. So if you can't sleep, the first thing to experiment with is getting outdoors in the morning and get that circadian hormone cascade started properly as early as you can stand to.
Okay, and so my doctor recommended eons ago that I walk every day for my bones and everything. And so I'm totally addicted now to having a walk outside every day
Fantastic.
and don't feel the same without it. So recommend that for those who want to try something new.
Fantastic.
This is a book I found in the library recently. It's called Sleep Groove. It's a circadian researcher, and it's got a lot of really good information in it.
Hi.
Hi.
Thanks for all this wonderful information. So I am a sun lover, and I am outside.
Look at her beautiful skin. See how healthy she looks?
However, I have had to deal with skin cancer, and I'm wondering what you recommend for sun lovers who get skin cancer, how to deal with that.
Just be super careful about the UV time of the day. So just get outside early in the morning, late in the afternoon when there's minimal UV, and get that infrared, because the infrared exposure on your skin protects you from the worst aspects of the UV. At least that's my understanding. I'm not a doctor, not giving medical. Someone there is.
Thumbs up when you say.
Thumbs up. So add more infrared.
Yeah, I do actually meditate outside in the sun earlier in the day as well. So I'm just working with what's going to work best.
Yeah, and just be outdoors more and more, but not in the dangerous times. And if it's scary to you, that creates cortisol, and that's not good. So, just kind of inch your way into it. But it sounds like you're already doing.
I love the sun, but I have had to deal with skin cancer.
I would maybe check into Zaid Dahaj on Substack. He has a ton of blog posts relating to this topic. So.
Thank you.
I don't know if I have a question, but I just wanted to tell you guys thank you, but also the fact that maybe to corroborate or support some of the stuff you're saying, because I was a ceremonial sun dancer for 7 years.
Wow.
And we would dance for 4 days, from the time the sun got up to the time the sun went down. And while we did it, we looked at the sun.
Oh,
And we did not wear sunglasses. We did not get sunburns.
really?
We would dance. You would sort of get into the cycle or the energy of what was there. Part of this too was doing vision quests, which you'd go out for 4 days, and a lot of times without food and water. And I always found if I went and sat in the sun, that would give me so much more energy that I didn't need the food. I didn't need that worry about things, and I could just, so I think, and I met a sun yogi in India who did not eat food while everyone else ate. He would just go out and he'd sit in the sun, and he would just absorb everything he needed being in the sun. So there's a lot to say. We've been told for, eons, right? You need to get inside. You need to wear the sunglasses. You need to get out of the sun. You need, all these things. Well, I think most people here know that what you think is what you create. And so if you know that the sun is actually good for you, the light that you talked about is really good for you, I think it would encourage everybody to get outside, change the way that you think, and just Larry knows. As soon as he sees me, I'm always like sitting in the sunshine someplace because I can't stand not being in it. And the other thing is, if you really get yourself into a cycle with the sun and you pay attention to it, when it starts to rise, when it starts to get light in the morning, you'll feel the difference. You'll feel the energy of the sun coming up, and it wakes me up every morning. I can feel it. I really feel a difference. So the things you're talking about, it's like spot on. So thank you.
There is a whole emerging field of research. It's like how much energy to run our bodies is coming from food, and we think it's 100%. Some people say it's only 30%. And this is very controversial, but there could be quite a bit of energy that we're getting from light and electromagnetic radiation of different types that's actually running our body. The biophotons is one example that our bodies are creating light itself. And different factors may be able to increase our own body's endogenous production of light, as well as how we respond to light that we get from outside. So this is really, really cutting edge and very new, and we don't know much about it, but I'm kind of leaning towards, we might be making a lot more of our own energy than we are getting from food.
So being in the lighting business for a long time, I know that the LED lights now, I've seen them with bulbs where you can change the Kelvin on them. So you can set it at 2000K, you can set it at 3K, 4K, 5K. And when you're doing that, you're basically taking that way down again into that same level. So that's really a positive thing. And so you can adjust those lights anytime you want to using the same bulb and the same fixture.
Right, they're light changing bulbs. They even have them that kind of will imitate light throughout the day. So that's another emerging field within the lighting industry. Alexis Cowan, who is one of our authority figures here, she likes them. I was suspicious of them. I don't have a strong opinion about it, but I think it's great. Anything that's innovative, that's actually paying attention to how light affects our body is a step in the right direction.
And a shout out to all you night people, because I'm a sun gazer, but I gaze at the sun, not early in the morning, but I do it right before it's ready to set over the mountains, for a number of reasons. And I know I wear glasses, but I know that there's a healing effect, what would you say that?
Autonomic?
Yeah, well, the optical part of your lens gets better, as well from doing the sun gazing too. And then the other part is that being in the lighting business, I've been dealing with the near and far infrared lights. And I can tell you the healing aspect. I just went through some stuff that should have been cancer, and I was using a near infrared light on it for months, and there was no cancer in there.
Wow.
So far and near infrared light is huge in regards to the benefits of it. And of course, if you have to be careful with that, because if you go like in the 452 nanometer range, which is ultraviolet C, that kills all kinds of germs and everything, but it is very damaging at the same time. So you gotta be careful when you're starting to throw out these different numbers, because
Yes.
they definitely, they can
Make a
be
difference.
beneficial or they can be harmful too. But thank you for a great talk.
So speaking of red light therapy, Meredith, are you still there, Meredith? Oh.
She had to leave early, but I'm standing in for Meredith.
Oh, okay, so there's a bunch of these brochures there. So this lady Mary has just opened up this light lounge in the same office building I work in. So in there is a QR code for a free 50-minute session on these very advanced, cool. I did it the other day. I was stressed out about this talk, and I was like, oh my God, Mary, I'm so distressed. She goes, okay, I'm gonna put you on the stress protocol. So I got in this machine for 15 minutes. I got out. I tell you, these things are advanced, and I was like floating like on a little heaven cloud. So They really have an effect. So since it's free, scan the QR code and try it out. Just another experiment. Hi, Phil.
So, direct sunlight versus shade, and what kind of shade? Like shade from trees, shades that filter light? What's the best and how does it
Well,
affect?
shade from trees would be the most desirable if possible, because you get that extra bouncing off of the infrared wavelengths off the green leaves. But any kind of shade, and that gets you outside where you're getting the infrared and the brighter amount of photons would be beneficial, and I would just play around and experiment and have fun creating an environment.
Talk to the phone, talk to the microphone, sorry. So I'm kind of a fan of Dr. Mercola, and this morning's article, and he sends an email pretty much every day with something medical, and sometimes it'll be a series of articles. So this morning's article was how bringing UV light into the blood treats everything from infections to heart disease.
I don't know anything about that.
Okay, well, if anyone's interested, this morning's article. Okay. Thank you.
How do you spell it? His name?
Mercola?
M-E-R-C-O-L-A.
Yeah, Joseph Mercola, Mercola.
There is a protocol that uses UV light intravenously. Yeah, it's Dr. Anderson has it, and there's a place in Denver that has it also. I don't know that much about it.
Yeah, I'd like to just make a comment too here. As a person who has been interested in the quantum side of how all this works, there is information in light of all kinds, and especially in our visible light range, because look at all the benefits that we have been talking about today. And the photons themselves can carry information from a quantum level, and then inside our bodies, we also have the mechanisms to receive that, store that, and send it. So I just wanted to make that general statement. That light can also help to illuminate us, not only our bodies, but also our conscious minds too. So, if there's no more questions, I'd just like to ask all of you to join me in giving a round of good applause to Michael and Pat. And Michael and Tad, can you provide for us perhaps the references that you mentioned? Do you have a sheet or something that maybe you could send in an email for us?
Well, we could take those reference slides, turn them into a small PDF, and I don't know if we sent that to you or Trina or Deb.
Or we could have a
make its
list,
way.
email list.
Yeah, I think that, or could we send that to our website?
Yeah.
No? We'll figure it out.
Send it out to whoever attended.
Yeah.
You could, so we could do that.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, if,
Do you have a slide with everybody's?
no, we have them one by one,
Yeah, right.
and we kind of have to finish up
Okay.
pretty quick now in
Yes.
the room, right?
If you can blow through them really quick,
All right.
that people can just take pictures, that would work too.
Let's do that.
Okay, and I'd like to, so I'm gonna relinquish